So we just talk.
Let's just talk.
Oh, this is so good.
Okay, well, this is a vibe. We should promote this for a quick second.
It's so good.
This is what we're drinking. I actually don't know how to say it, but it's yuzu. Oh, Haiwa Shusu Surumi Yutsu. Next generation sake in Japan. And it's squeezed with the skin left over. Bless you. That's how you do it. You need to have the mic like close to you. In a very real way.
Yeah.
Okay, so introduction time.
Hey, where'd you get that clip from?
He doesn't have a clip?
No.
Oh wait, maybe I should give you my clip.
No,
Or maybe
no,
it's like out. Do you want one? We can figure it out. I actually feel like I'll find one.
Can you hear me from here? It's like you won't know.
You wouldn't know. I guess like it'll pick up your shit, so let's find out. What you can do is you can clip this to your show. And that has a recorder. The mic is...
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then maybe we could do like...
Yeah. Great.
Perfect.
Look at that.
See how we just make things work?
There's experts in podcasting. Okay, so I guess we could do like...
Where are we?
Where are we? Do we want to dox ourselves like that though? Like
Docs?
like someone like comes to the spot and like blows it up? I mean, I think people will know.
It's not live.
True. We're at Elysian Park. Elysian, there's two pronunciations. I actually don't know what the correct pronunciation is.
It's the Australian pronunciation and the American is true.
Elysian. What would you say? Elysian?
Elysian.
Why? That sounds like Allegiant, and that's not the fucking like name. Love it. Anyways, in what part of LA is this? I know it's like Echo Park, Silver Lake. Is that northwest, east? Yeah, well, if you know, you know.
We'll see.
If you know, you'll know.
Yeah, if you know where we're at, you know where we're at.
And then, who are we? I'm just me. I'm just Leah/Leia, depending on your pronunciation. Lewis Angel.
You just give my full name.
Well, I'll cut that out. I will cut that out.
Yeah, don't dox where we're at, but
yeah, but now we gotta know where your location is.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
what
but now
are we
you
gonna
know
do? And his address is Where did we meet? How do we know each other? Basically, I was living in a box, and Lewis.
I picked it up and I said, "Hey, this box is really light."
It was
and it's jingling. What's in here?
Medium cotton, and I was in there, and the rest, as they say, is history. No, I mean, I guess that's a metaphor for the way we really met. And Lewis and I worked at Basquiat.
In downtown LA.
In downtown LA, and Lewis worked for the security team. I worked for the experience guide team. And
then the supervisor, he went on a trip.
Shut the fuck up.
And then when he came back, I guess they were like, "Hey man, you fucked up." So then they let him go, and then they made me supervisor. And I was like so nervous to be supervisor because I'd never even been.
How many people did you go through? Did they go through before they went to you? Just one.
Just one.
Okay, I was thinking. Okay. But it's also interesting because at the start of our meeting, you did not talk at all. I didn't. I also didn't talk that much, but compared to now.
Yeah, it's because.
But I was giving very like. When I first met Lewis, I was like, this man is like shy, doesn't want to talk to anyone, no vibes. I can't say that. I'm joking. I think you have great vibes. But I think if anything, that was great. Like that was a relief because like we were around a lot of people with very high energy, and Lewis was just like, I'm not talking.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I was like, man, I'm here. I'm just gonna get to work. I'm just gonna stand here.
I was kind of the same before I became like management. I was like, nobody look at me, nobody talk to me. I'm gonna clock in, get my bag, and leave.
Yeah, I'm part of the wall. And then I was thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna be here for a while. So I'm looking at my coworkers right now, you know.
was like, damn, maybe I should make a connection.
Yeah, maybe I should like not make myself weird or awkward. But I feel like
They're gonna hear my gulps, I just realized. And they ASMR. It is so good though.
it is so
And you were ragging. He was ragging on the 7%. He's like,
yeah, it's like
7%.
7%.
See, guys, this is the thing about Americans. You know,
Like, why couldn't
you're
this thing
always
be like
chasing a high,
30%?
and it's like maybe the high
40%.
is this 7% alcohol.
This whole bottle is 7%.
Yeah, but that's a small bottle.
No, this is a pretty good sized bottle.
Whatever.
And then-
You know what? People are never happy.
I know, right? That's so.
I'm joking. Anyways, yeah. So Lewis decided to open up, I guess, which is curious.
And then I noticed that everybody had like this talent to them, and so I was like, hey, so what do you do? Like, do you paint or something? And she was like, no, my thing is more like film and production or editing and stuff like that. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh, cool. And then she talked about how like she wants to be like a documentary. What do you call that? Director? Documentary?
Filmmaker.
Filmmaker.
You could be a document. I feel like I would have been very vague about it because I feel like documentary is like I just want to be involved in it regardless of what the role is necessarily.
Yeah, and then I remember she said that one of the projects that she wanted to do was film people in food trucks.
Shit. I have not done that program. But you know what? That's fine. I'm trying to make sure we're not dark. Yeah, fine. Yeah, that was the pitch at the time. But also I was just talking, like I had no clue, honestly.
I'm over here.
God, someone knows his name. They heard us for doxing America. And so what eventually happened? I think like we were having a very like medium conversation. Well, not medium. It was very like entry level conversation. Mm-hmm. When would you say we actually became close as people? Although apparently I'm an acquaintance. I don't know. What level am I at now?
A good friend.
Oh my god.
A good friend is good.
The effort, guys. And there's how many more tiers above that too? Close friend and best friend, yes.
Best friend is like, I don't know if you'll ever reach best friend. Best friend is like, hey, what are you doing right now? Oh, okay, we're about to go eat.
There's multiple people that could be your best friend. See, I have multiple best friends, so I'm fine. But Lewis is very picky. Lewis needs to have one per category.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like you have to be selective with who you even call a friend, right? And
It's
so
a label.
Huh?
It's just a label.
It's not just a label. Well, I mean, the label is
it's a label, and then you assign the meaning to it.
Yeah, but see, I've already got my meanings established to the label, you know.
Okay.
So
I respect that.
You feel me?
I respect it.
And so.
Fuck that shit up.
And so, I mean, a best friend is like I'm texting you like at least 2 times a week. What are you doing?
I think we text 2 times a week. See, this is the checklist. So anyone out there who wants to be Lewis's best friend, listen in.
Yeah.
Because this might be you.
And so, it's
texting 2 times a week.
It's like you have to text multiple times, and then I gotta like, I don't know, just keep communications, and then we gotta keep hanging out. Cause my best friend, we hang out like maybe once a week, and it's not like, hey man, it's been a week, where are you? It's just like, it's just more like, hey, like, I don't know, it doesn't even feel like you just talk to him, hey, how are you? What's going on? Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Okay, cool, how you been? I don't know. I guess we did do that, but it's
so
like...
in that way, clearly I'm not making the cut. It's fine. It's fine, guys. You know, I have dreams. I have hopes and dreams.
There's best friend.
I'm a close friend.
And then there's good friend.
No, I'm good friend. I'm not a close friend.
A good friend is good. Because what else is there? You just got friend and best friend.
It's
That's
fine.
it.
It's fine. You know what? It is what it is.
You're in the gray area right now.
To be fair, like, you're an acquaintance to me. I'm joking. Okay, anyways, yeah, but what would you say was the kind of moment that we became like the entry level where we were like, oh, we're actually like kind of friends?
Oh, I don't know. I think we just kept talking, and then I think it was like when you were like
Giving life advice.
yeah, hearing the way you
Classic.
talk, you're like, oh, this girl is pretty smart. She's very wise. How old are you at the time? 23? How old are you right now?
I'm 24.
Yeah, so I think you were 23. I was 25. No, I was 24. I'm gonna be 26 in like a week.
Whoa, are you happy? Are you doing something?
No.
See, because I'm not a close friend.
Yeah. I'm not
I don't
doing
know.
something.
Okay, you know what? Whatever. You know, I thought good friends could get there, but I guess not.
No, I'm really not. I don't.
You should. But just for you, I'm not even saying like not for me to be invited. I'm just saying like in general, like
Well, I
to
guess
celebrate
yeah.
25 is like big.
I'm gonna be 26.
26 is big.
I guess I mean if I'm gonna do something, it's probably just gonna be like dinner with like my best friends, you know, my best friend, my brother, and maybe like his girlfriend, and then my other brother and his girlfriend, and like 2 other people. Probably get sushi.
I love sushi. I love sushi.
Sushi or like something different, something Asian. Something Asian. Because we've been going to this one spot. I think it's Korean.
Like Korean barbecue. Have you done that?
No.
You don't like Korean barbecue?
I don't like Korean barbecue. I mean, it's alright.
Maybe if you went to Korean barbecue where you don't have to cook it. Sometimes it's
I never
actually-
cook it.
Okay, so maybe you have to cook it. Maybe the act of making something will make you enjoy it better. Oh my god. Okay, so whatever. I think, well, I feel like, I guess it'll be different. Like the points that you were like, oh, I consider this person my friend. So I feel like mine's probably different. And mine, I feel like mine came later, if I'm honest. In a sad way. Well, not in a sad way, but for me, like, I think I can make friends quite easily. Or make friends, but I can connect with people quite easily. So
Yes.
I won't consider them like a friend until I'm actually like, oh, like, we are until I consider like, oh, I would actually not go out of my way, but I feel like I consider someone a friend if I would volunteer information about myself.
Hey, we did that. Remember that one time when I invited you to coffee?
Okay, yeah.
So I think that was like maybe
Yeah, but that was a different. That was different because it was like there was a different context to that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it was just like there was a different layer. But I think for me, like it's more like if someone were to be like, oh, like how are you? Like, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm actually having a shit day. That's when I'm like, I consider them a friend because I'm being honest about it. As opposed to if I was just like, you know, if you're just like a friend, but you're not like a real friend, or it's acquaintance, and you're just like, oh, how's it going? I'm just gonna be like, yeah, like I'm good. How are you? Blah blah blah. You know? Well, if it's someone who I feel like I can be genuine with, then I would consider that person a friend. I feel like at that point though, that was definitely my switch over. But more like post that, like after the coffee thing, and then no, it was actually further. It was later than that. Mine was later. Yours was the coffee thing.
No, it was
Because
just.
that was still an intro. That was like
Yeah, that was that to me that was
Colburn
like.
Cafe. Shout out
What was it called?
Colburn.
Colburn. Yeah.
Colburn.
Colburn. And I remember I was like, hey, you know, this girl's cool. She's funny. She's nice.
Great. I got my funny and nice card that day. I think mine came later, probably like. Honestly, it would have been like different moments pushed together, but I feel like as time went on and we like kept working together as well and just having like these conversations, it was like, I think when we would start, what are we talking about? When we would send like big messages to each other and they were like talking about like when I was telling you about like my opinions on shit and I was kind of like going off. I was just like, well, I wasn't going off, but I was kind of saying, you know, like I believe like I'm really open to being wrong and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
And we were having like a deeper conversation that wasn't just like sending shit on Instagram.
Yeah, and then it was just really, I guess, we would talk about like how much do you know yourself, and then we're always constantly, we'll never know ourselves fully, but we will know like
we were like
the
unpacking
most
it together.
of ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that was my kind of thing, because it's like when you're like curious or like you're inquiring about yourself with somebody else, I think that is like what friendship kind of is, because it's, you're like, I actually don't know, so like I need someone else to kind of think through it with me, even if you both don't have the answers.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, is that when when was your like, yours was not the cafe, but what was it? I'm really trying to think. I honestly low-key also feel like it might have been a day where I was going through it and Lewis was very comforting.
I was very what?
And you were comforting me, and I was just like, okay, this person's my friend, I guess.
When was that?
I mean, what was that day where I was like, okay, I can't remember exactly the date, but it was like a day where I was just like, honestly, like I feel like horrible. I think you sent like a cat gif.
Cat?
You sent something that was like, cheer up. No, you're like, cheer up now, in like capitals over text. And that's when we were playing chess at the time too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the chess time.
I think that was, you know, once you play chess with someone, you can't not be friends, I think.
Yeah, and chess is different, you know? Because then now you got to think about what the other person's going to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you won the first time. But to be fair, I was winning. It's just that it was like a week. The deadline was a week. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It would have been over in hours.
This is so good. I can't get over it.
You're amazing. I'm telling you, this shit's so good. That's what being intentional with your drinking does. Anyways, okay, that's how we became friends.
Yeah, I feel like it was just like $1 here, $1 there, and then it added up to something that you could actually buy with. You know what I mean?
What did you buy?
Friendship.
The way that you think that friendship is a purchase is crazy. See, that's telling.
Well, shit, I think a friendship is earned, not given.
It's true. I also agree with that. And then, I mean, I guess like we were talking about like what we would conversate about, but we kind of talk about, what would you say is like the main thing that we talk about the most?
It's our mentals.
Our mentals. It's true. I think we do a lot of like, I'm not going to say we're philosophers, but you know, like you read when like philosophers are just in rooms talking back and forth. I feel like that is very much our dynamic.
I feel like it was a lot of like, man, like how do I get through this? This is how I see it. Oh yeah, you saw it like that, but why not see it like this? You know, kind of like shifting our perspectives.
Yeah.
And just seeing it from another light, or yeah, like another angle, and then just kind of putting it together in a way that makes sense, you know? It's
also interesting because I feel like I met you at like a certain point in your life.
Yeah.
Would you agree or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I think about that Lewis, and I'm like, dang, that guy is so young. And I feel so much older than, I feel different. I do, I genuinely feel different from that Lewis.
Yeah, and I see the difference as well. I think it's like really interesting because like in a way I'm the same way. You also met me at a certain point, but when we met each other, I feel like at that point in our internal lives, we were kind of closed off as people. And then did you have to do all that just to get the insect off?
I needed it to go that way, because if I went this way, I would have gone
the theatrics.
But wow, there's a lot of bugs.
I should have put my bug spray here. It's fine. This is nature. Don't be scared. They're not gonna bite you. You also have like hiking pants on. I think you're fine. Don't freak out. But yeah, I think like when we met each other, we were kind of like closed off in a way. Yeah. And like I'm not shy as a person really, but at that time I was like not really talking to anyone. I was just like, if you talk to me, like I'll talk to you and I'll be friendly, but I'm not gonna give more of myself than I need to. And yeah, then now we're just like, I think it's interesting like to see like where we came to and where we grew to.
Yeah.
And I think Lewis specifically, like me, like I was in a transitionary period, but I think because you don't know like the before that much, it wasn't that obvious, like, if shit was changing. Because, like, how would you would have nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I kind of had an understanding of yours. So then to see, like, where you started, and then also we spent, like, essentially, like, 9 months to a year.
Yeah, I think it was like 10 months, right?
Yeah. And so, like, you literally, like, seeing each other, like, go through the stages of life.
Yeah. I feel like...
And go to work every day.
Yeah. I feel like you've seen the... Like, it was like a... Kind of like the end of who I was, you know? Because I wish I could do it all over again, you know? Like, I would just have more fun and think differently, you know? But I feel like the reason why I feel like this is because, like, I feel like being sober from weed really, really helped me from that. Because it was just like, I would come into work faded, or I would smoke enough to where by the time it was time to clock in, I was already like coming down from, you know what I mean? And I was doing that for a minute. And I was just like, dang, like, you know, I'm not really thinking, I'm just kind of going through the motion. But that's what I've been doing the year before, and then the year before, and the year before, you know what I mean? And so now it's different because I'm not doing that anymore. So I feel like I'm actually in the now, and I'm seeing like, okay, like, what's today about, you know? What can I do today for tomorrow? What's tomorrow gonna look like, you know? Why am I doing this today?
Like, being inquisitive about yourself.
Yeah. And to be more intentional.
Yeah.
That's the thing now. I'm like,
Love.
it's like I'm halfway through the year, but it's never too late. I guess now I'm just kind of like, man, I gotta be more intentional with the things I do, or it's just gonna keep moving, you know? It's just gonna fly away. It's just gonna, time will move on, and then I'll be like, oh man, it's already November.
But I feel like you're so, like, I think for me personally, when I met Lewis, I feel like now you're so much more grounded than, like, when I first met you. I think, like, I don't think you would, like, you were, like, insane when I first met you, but, like, I think when I first met you, like, there was a lot, like, internally, and that you were trying to make sense of a lot of things. Yeah. And, like, you had a lot of questions that maybe hadn't been answered, or you hadn't, like, felt comfortable to, like, dig into the answer. And then now I feel like you're able to, like, lean into it and be like, what is the question?
It's because I saw it real quick.
Jim Burrs be like, Gymshark ad. Insert Gymshark ad here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I think it's honestly, like, so impressive. And I feel like, here's another thing, is it's not even like just because I'm your friend I said that, but people, like, notice, like, at work as well. Well, like, we would talk about it at work, behind Lewis's back in a positive way. Where, like, even, like, me and, like, my old boss, like, when we were closing up the exhibit, like, we were like, you know what, like, Lewis has come, like, really far and, like, changed so much from, like, that first person that we met.
And it's so crazy because it's like...
But didn't you feel it?
I didn't even feel it. No.
Yeah.
So it was like...
So you're like, how?
How?
But this is what it is.
And
change is so, like, small.
Yeah,
and then someone else tells you, oh, you've changed. You're like, what the fuck? I didn't even notice.
But that's the cool part. And that's how you know that I've changed a lot. For them to say, within the 10 months that they've known me, that I've changed. You know what I mean? Like...
A big statement.
How crazy is that? You know what I mean? Like, how you can see someone change in 10 months. You know what I mean? When you've known someone for, like, 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're almost the same, you know? So that's like, wow, that's really cool, you know?
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. It's
I think it was...
Good feeling.
But yeah, it was really, like, I think encouraging as well, because, like I said, I think you were on, like, the bridge of something, and you could have kind of spiraled.
I spiraled?
You could have, is what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know when you're at a crossroads, and it's like either, like, I'm gonna go, like, and I've been there, so I'm not even talking shit. Like,
yeah.
You're at a crossroads, and you're like, either I'm gonna come out of this and become, like, better than I ever have been.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna be a horrible person and hate everyone.
Totally.
It's valid, and 100%. I get why people get to that point. But look at Lewis now, grinning from ear to ear.
From ear to ear.
But genuinely, I think that is kind of a good example of, like, you were at a crossroads, but and that's the thing, like, something I always say to people is, you know, you can get as much life advice from your friends or people around you, but at the end of the day, you will ultimately choose like the path you're going to go. And you kind of chose it. You still start laughing about the ear to ear. And Lewis kind of like, you guided yourself to that point. And that's, again, like that's the thing, it's so subtle. It's not something that I feel like you even recognize was happening. But do you think it was like little choices? Can you share insight to how it felt on your side?
From changing?
Yeah, even though you said you didn't really recognize it.
It was just kind of like, you just get tired. You just get tired of the same things, and you go, man, like, I don't like feeling like this, you know? How do I get away from it? How do I stop feeling like this?
Yeah.
And like I remember I told you, like I prayed, you know what I mean? Like, literally prayed to God, and I got it. Like I remember, like I was driving and I was like, so you know, this whole thing, I was like upset with somebody. And I was really, really just like, I mean, I'd never felt this way before in my life. I don't know why, but I keep thinking, like this image in my head keeps popping up where I'm standing there, or I'm there. And I got like this, like tar almost, like this hot.
Oh, you told me about this one.
You know, like hot, it's like just tar, just black bullshit, just nasty stuff boiling in my stomach. I felt it in my stomach, and it felt like somebody was like pouring like boiling water over my head. Like water so hot that it was like taking my skin off. Like, you know what I mean? Like just peeling my skin as it dripped down. And I remember I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I remember I prayed to God. I was like, Lord, like take this feeling away from me. Take it away from me. I know it's not going to mean anything in 2 weeks. I know it's not going to mean anything in 6 months or in 2 years. Take it away from me now, please. And I was driving, and I felt the heat literally come off my arms. Like I felt like, that kind of sensation, that heat, when like you get scared, but like you're like almost like your blood rises to like your skin, and then it goes away like a flash. I felt it on my chest, on my arms, and on my face. I felt it rise up to my skin, and it was like I literally felt it. I felt it get pulled in front of me. And I remember thinking, like, now I was driving with anger and sadness and just like, what's going on? To like, just I'm driving now.
Yeah, like the feeling was removed.
Like it was just completely gone. And I remember thinking, did I really just pray this away? Did I really just pray this away? And then I go, I think I did. But I still have to drive because what's happening is wrong, you know? I still have to do what I have to do. And then...
Was this the clothing thing?
Yeah. And then when I got there to the court, I was like, I'm so stupid. Like, this is so silly, you know? And so I took the paperwork home. I didn't even finish filling it out. And then 3 hours later, I texted the person, and I was like, and I apologized because I had this.
Which is huge, honestly.
Huh?
I think that's very brave.
Yeah, could you imagine me apologizing to somebody for something that they were doing to me? I mean, you have to know the story, but one day.
You get there.
One day. And then, and it was just like, I remember I was sitting in this car, and I'm not gonna lie, I was smoking. I was just like faded. And I was with my friend, Brian, and I got this feeling on me, like it was just like dang, like I'm proud of myself, like I'm happy that I went through all this for my art, like that. I didn't know that that's what my art meant to me, and what I would go through it for it. And then I was like, yeah, like art means so much. And then I can't believe I came out in a runway show, and it's like, whoa, like that made me feel good. Like I remember, like it felt really good to be
point the have it like that way.
To me?
Because it's like leaning down.
And it was like, man, like I don't think I'll ever be back on this, you know? And it was like, you know what, let me feel happy that it happened.
Yeah.
Because now I know what I would go through for it, you know, like what I would do for it. And then it was like, well, okay, I felt this happiness. So I was like, I don't know what to do with it. Oh. And then it was like, why not feel that way towards the person that revealed it to you? And I was like, well, it was him. And I was like, and I couldn't.
It's like complex, yeah.
I couldn't control the happiness. So it went from the event to the person. And I was just like, you know what? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, like, I feel good. The anger is gone. The sadness is gone. I'm just so happy that he even revealed it to me and then took me to that moment.
You can thank someone for that even
exactly.
if it hurt.
Yeah. So I thanked him for that. I was like, hey man, I'm sorry for the words I said. And thank you so much for everything you've done for me and you've shown me. I hope we can share a meal soon. And the next day we went out to eat. And man, if you talk to like Ariel or Eric or Elliot, like, I was just like, I was losing my mind. I didn't know what to do. You know, I didn't want to put my hands on anybody. I didn't want to do it. But I was like, that's what I was feeling. And I was like, it's not that serious. But it was just like something wanted that, you know what I mean? And I was like, I can't keep doing it. I don't want this, you know? And
but
I didn't know
feel like
what
that
else
is
to do.
such an obvious, well, not obvious, but because the question I asked was like, what were the changes? And I think that is such a clear one of like, the person that I met at the start, I feel like would have reacted to that so differently.
So different.
And then, like, you really dealt with it in such a balanced, like, mature way that kind of speaks volumes in itself. Were you proud of yourself after it?
Yeah, I felt really good. Actually, it made me. I feel like it made me feel more mature. Like I felt better. I felt better doing that. I felt like I got stronger almost. Like I got stronger. Like I got thicker.
Because it's also like you look at like the temptation of being like an asshole and the satisfaction of doing that. But you're basically like saying, no, I'm not gonna like give in to like my base impulse to do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like grounded and mature about it. And
Go.
okay.
No.
The fruit cup? No, I go. My thing is gonna be a segue.
Oh, thank you.
I love the balloons.
I like the cotton candy.
Do you think it's heavy?
No.
No. He's doing great.
There was this girl I was seeing a couple years ago, and she said, I don't understand why people fight. She's like, fighting is so barbaric, it's so animal shit. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, I feel like sometimes when you whoop someone's ass, it like solves things, you know?
Language.
And she said, but that's what separates us from the animals, is that we can talk and listen to each other. But all the animals do is just bark and growl, and then they
That's
get at
so
it.
smart. Sorry, but shout out to that girl.
Yeah. And I was
You're
like,
out there.
yeah, right? And I was like, whoa, I like that.
Beautiful.
That's what separates us from the animals, the fact that we can talk. And, you know? Because, I mean, I'm sure they apologize to each other. I don't know how they do it, but they do.
Let's hope there's an apology in animal land. But I think
insects. You think bugs apologize to each other?
I think they do, but like in a very like. Have you seen A Bug's Life? I think A Bug's Life is real.
I feel like bugs don't have emotions.
They're sentient, are they not?
What's that mean?
Sentient means like they are aware of like pain, like they feel pain.
You think so? I feel like it's more like.
I feel like if a fucking ant got stepped on, I think it would feel it.
Yeah. I feel like they'd be like, oh. I feel like
They'd be like, oh.
Like if a spider got its leg cut off, I don't think it's gonna be like, oh my leg.
Yes, it will.
My leg. I think it's gonna be like, oh, damn, that one's shorter now. You know?
Hey, any spiders watching? Please let us know.
Please let us know.
Let us know what's up. Or any
Arachnids?
arachnid experts. That what I was gonna say before I was like, oh, like this, I'm segueing is for context as well. This is kind of a good insight is that when we met, I grew up religious, and now I'm not a Christian anymore, but I believe in faith to some extent, but I'm not, I don't belong to any group. Well, Lewis, would you say you're, but then we had this conversation about, is it religion or faith? I believe in faith, like I said,
but faith, you have to have faith in something. Like, what's your something?
My something is, I think I had this discussion where I'm just like, I don't think that that Christianity, like where it is now, is accurate to what, like, if there was a high power, to what he would actually want. And also, I don't think that, like, I think like so many things can get lost in translation, and have been lost in translation from like the original interpretation of it. And now like people are using that as like a reason to inform like all of their beliefs. But I'm not against people believing in something. It's just I was raised in a very specific setting, but you weren't raised that way. You were kind of, but not like toxically. And I don't even want to say mine was toxic, but I will say it was very like conservative. And for me, it's curious because I think we also just talked about this, is I don't know if Lewis like was raised the same way, he would be religious now. Oh, do you say you're religious now? Do you say religious or you're Christian?
Religious. Christianity's not a religion.
It's a faith.
It's a relationship.
Oh my god, you sound like my mom.
You like that, huh?
Really not.
Christianity is
my mom just spoke through your mouth. Well, isn't that nice? Whatever helps you sleep at night.
It does.
Relationship. Okay, well, if it's a relationship, it's toxic, and God's like, guys, like I didn't mean that, and you need to like get off my back.
Oh my gosh, no.
This man.
You made me laugh.
Why is it my fault? Like, suppress your laughter. Okay. Fine. Don't laugh. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it. What?
He said, guys, get off my back.
I genuinely think that he's thinking that. Like, I feel like he's up there, and he's like, yo, like, I wrote that.
You guys are doing too much.
Yeah, he's like, I wrote that. First of all, I wrote it in Hebrew. None of y'all read it in Hebrew.
3 different languages.
He's like, Hebrew, and he's like, and I've seen the English translation. I didn't say all that. I feel like he's up there. And you know what? I think a lot of you people who believe in Christ probably have that thought every now and then. Or you're like, wait.
Of course.
Imagine like God came down like as a person, he's just like, I'm gonna be real, I'm not fucking with any of you. What would you do? Would you be like, God, no, please?
Yeah, but how do I do it?
What?
How do you...
Beg for mercy?
Yeah, how do we...
But I feel like even then he'd be like, no, you don't understand. I'm not even gonna like, no one's gonna heaven or hell. He's like, I'm just gonna fucking chill. Like, I need a break.
No.
Imagine you said that. Exactly, he already dies, and maybe he needs a vacation, and like we're all being like in his ear being like, hey God, can I have...
Like a genie?
Yeah, and he's just like, dude, like, I'm out of office. I'm on vacation.
Guys, I'm on lunch.
And he's like, I'm on my lunch, don't talk to me.
No. Imagine, they always tell you that his love is limitless. It just keeps going.
Who tells you that though? Did he say that in his own words?
Yeah, when's the last time you read the Bible? Be real.
Fucking years ago, so tell me which verse it is.
It's in John.
Alright, go ahead. Maybe. Let's see the quote. I'm gonna fact check this when I edit this. And the fact that you have to pull it up, see, y'all are fake as fuck.
I just started. Oh, I don't have any service.
Back in my day.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, Leah, I challenge you.
Oh my god.
To read the Bible one more time and see what it does to you. If I feel like you've gotten smarter now.
I have read it. Like, I haven't read the whole thing, but I've read parts of it again. And
I thought you read the whole thing. I think you told me you read it 4 times.
No, I know, but I haven't read it again since that. Those times.
How long ago was it? Like you were like 12, maybe 13?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Leah. Read it now.
If anything, I would be more strict on it now. Because when I was young, I was like, yeah, oh my god.
Yeah, go for it. You'd probably find like, what's this?
This podcast is going to turn into reading the Bible.
Yeah.
No, I fucking won't do that, but I'll read parts of it.
Aren't you like kind of...
My favorite book The context is Revelations, because that one is like, we're all gonna die, and da-da-da. I love that shit. What's your favorite? You haven't read Revelations.
No. This is the part in, maybe it's the part in...
Do you have holes in your hat?
No, I don't.
Kind of do, but they're not. Part in what? The part in what?
The part when... I guess... I think I like the part when the Bible talks about how, like, Jesus was telling the 12 disciples, I'm gonna die, and I'm gonna rise again. And then Peter was like, I won't let that happen. I'll kill whoever tries to kill you. And he goes, and then Jesus says, get back, Satan. He was like, there's things that need to be done, basically, right? And he was like, what? And then Judas snitches on him for 30 pieces of silver.
The economy, man. That's how dire the economy was back then.
I feel like you should read it, just for the one time. And
okay. There's also so much better things to read.
But read it so that you'll be like, yeah, I knew it was.
If I was going to read it, I would have to learn Hebrew and read the original transcript that's fucking locked in a vault somewhere. I want to read the original.
The government has it.
I want to read the original conception. Honestly, it's probably not happening. Because I want to say, who was the first translator of the Bible to English? What was their vibe? You know what I'm saying? What was the vibe?
What was the intentions then?
Literally.
What if God...
Think about it.
What if God said, you're not going to touch my word, but you can read it? Right? Because I feel like...
Who was he saying that to?
To whoever first discovered it.
Yeah, but I don't think he was doing all that. I think he was just like, okay, well, if you want to like fucking do that, then...
Do it?
I think if anything, this is my conspiracy theory, is that what if he did it to weed out the real from the fake?
So like,
to be like, whoever falls for this bad translation... Imagine, guys. Like, imagine. And I know a bunch of you are like, oh, like, you're going to hell. Yeah, fine.
Interesting.
I'm ready. It is what it is.
Are you sure?
I also don't believe in hell, so I guess I'm not ready because I'm not preparing for it. Don't. Is that an insect or a leaf?
It was an insect.
What a little bitch. Yeah. That's my vibe. Imagine, like, he was doing that. He's like, damn, he's like, you guys really fell for that. He's like, now what do I do? He's like, I have like 4 people that actually should go to heaven. And now it's like, all this shit in the world is happening, and it's like, he's just like, fuck, like it's out of control because I let them like experiment with the Bible.
You see, you let the whites experiment?
I said I'd let them, but nice to see where your head's at.
No, this easy was
7%, guys. He didn't think he was talking a mad game. He was like, oh, I wish it was more.
Joking. I'm joking.
Look what happened.
I don't know.
So then where do you think you are with your faith?
With my faith?
Because you've been going regularly from what I've heard.
Yeah, I'm assuming, I'm thinking that Jesus knows that
And he read the Bible.
That I'm doing my best and he knows where I'm trying to go, what I'm trying to do. So I feel like, and he sees that I'm stopping some things, that I'm changing in some ways, so he's like, hey, you know what? A for effort.
What if he doesn't grade like that?
I think he does.
What if he says like percentage actually?
Well, then I'm probably a passing percentage, okay?
Well, actually, but it's so interesting because I think like I don't measure my life like that.
Yeah.
I don't have any like one that I'm like thinking of.
You know, when I used to hook up a lot, I used to just go. It gave me pull. It gave me so much anxiety.
I used to.
Yeah.
Give me so much. This is so.
It would give me anxiety.
It was so.
And it would make me
gave
feel
me so much anxiety to be hot.
It would give
God
me.
forbid.
It gave me anxiety. It gave me depression. I remember. I saw 3 girls. Huh?
You had to hit first. If you're hot, you will get anxiety and depression.
I remember I was seeing girls back to back to back. And then when that rush was done, I was like, yo, I feel so alone. It made me feel like garbage. it did. Even if I thought about the night to try to warm me up again, it didn't. I felt alone. I felt used. I felt like what? You know what I mean? Like, it was just not cool. It was just, it blew my mind. It was like, whoa, like I thought this is what you're supposed to do as a guy. Like, you're just supposed to rack up bodies and then like cool, you know? But it doesn't do anything. Like what you know what I mean? Because like even now, like I crave some. You know what I mean? But it's like, but it's like I had it. You know what I mean? Like,
and you know what it could make you feel.
Exactly. So it's like it'll never fulfill you. It'll never fill that hole in your heart.
Why are you talking to me like it's irrelevant to me? Like,
because
I'm
Leah,
chilling. Just because I'm not reading the Bible, like.
Because Jesus is supposed to fill that hole in your heart.
He's not that hard, like I know that for sure. He's just a beam of light.
A beam of light.
He doesn't have a physical appearance.
It's a darkness. Yeah, he does. Jesus Christ. What do you mean? Jesus Christ is the physical appearance. What'd you say, appearance?
It doesn't matter.
I'm hungry.
Are you actually? We can eat after.
Yeah.
We're 47 minutes in.
What?
So we're nearly there.
Wow.
We've been talking. But this is actually a good like example of what it's like.
This is like
In our conversations, yeah.
This is it.
And it's also interesting because I think most people that I feel like but I don't even think it's super religious, but people, because if people are like very religious, I find it difficult. Not even religious, but I think a lot of people who are Christian, I find it difficult to connect with because it's like I have trauma, religious trauma. But it's different for you because you're seeing it from a fresh perspective and not necessarily like you've been ingrained in it and you're like, this is the way the world works. You're like learning about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, it's because like when you hear things, okay, you hear something and then you apply it to real life and you go, whoa, like that's kind of like you know, you honestly, like for me to learn something, I have to turn it up all the way or I have to turn it down all the way. Like it has to be extreme for me to learn something. You know what I mean? Like if I want to mess around with the camera.
It's like all in or you're either like 100% or nothing.
Yeah, or it's like, let's pretend if I wanted to mess around with that camera. Like